1.5 million. That's how many realtors it takes to form the largest trade association in the United States, the formidable National Association of Realtors. NAR currently clocks in around $753 million annually, 200 million of which is solely from membership dues. As of 2024, every member pays $156 per year so that they can call themselves a realtor. Oh, the NAR owns what is probably the most valuable trademark in real estate, realtor.
What are you, some kind of real estate agent?
Oh, he's a realtor.
NAR has headquarters in Chicago and Washington, D.C. and it maintains a tenacious grip on American real estate through 1,075 local associations. Directly or indirectly, NAR controls most of the biggest MLSs. This includes CRMLS with 110,000 agents, Miami MLS with 60,000 agents, and Houston Association of Realtors with 37,000 agents. The power of the National Association of Realtors is indisputable. Or is it? Last year, NAR's proverbial chicken seemed to have come to roost. 20 antitrust lawsuits were filed against the organization. 29 employees accused NAR's president of sexual misconduct, and the Department of Justice has openly declared that it's going after NAR's policies. Of the 1.5 million realtors, 81,370 left between October 2023 and February 2024. That's just in 4 months. NAR's reputation is in dire trouble. Is this deserved? Will NAR survive? What does this mean for home buyers and sellers across the country? Well, let's find out.
This video is brought to you by Houzeo, America's most advanced home buying and selling platform. Americans across the nation are saving on commissions with Houzeo.com. You can too. Check out Houzeo.com on the web or the Houzeo mobile app.
The story of NAR. Chapter 1. The Rise of NAR. Let's go back to May 12, 1908, when 120 men gathered together in Chicago, Illinois to form an association. This National Association of Real Estate Exchanges had just one objective: to unite the real estate men of America. In 1916, Charles N. Chadbourne, president of the Minneapolis Real Estate Board, coined the term realtor. In 1949, the National Association of Real Estate Exchanges officially trademarked this term, and today it's one of the most valuable trademarks in real estate. In 1972, the organization became the National Association of Realtors, aka NAR, and in 1973 it trademarked the iconic R block logo. 1975 saw NAR crossing 400,000 members to become the largest trade association in the US, and it crossed 1 million in 2004. In October 2022, the membership peaked at 1,600,886. The US has over 2 million active real estate pros. Of them, 1.5 million are members of the NAR. That means nearly 2/3 of the nation's agents are associated with NAR. That's a lot. And now this behemoth is in danger. But why? Well, there are 4 reasons. Chapter 2. NAR's troubles. 1. Sexual harassment allegations. Women make up almost 62% of NAR membership today. Dorcas T. Helfant Browning, hailing from Chesapeake, Virginia, made history as the first female president of NAR in 1992. Since then, NAR has seen many women leaders. This includes Leslie Ruder Smith, the former NAR president, Katie Johnson, who is currently the chief legal officer, Jessica Lautz, the deputy chief economist and vice president of research. They are among the top 100 most influential women in housing leadership. It seems like NAR has created a favorable environment for women in real estate. But on August 27th, 2023, the New York Times published a stunning expose on NAR, and it changed everything.
And a Utah man who headed the National Association of Realtors resigns amid sexual harassment claims. 50-year-old Kenny Parcell resigned yesterday while denying allegations of improper sexual behavior.
The New York Times recently exposed a pattern of inappropriate behavior within NAR, with President Kenny Parcell taking center stage. The article accused NAR of systematic sexual harassment, fostering an environment of intimidation, punishing and retaliating against victims, and that's not all. 29 current and former employees have claimed NAR tends to shield those accused of misconduct. One such incident involved Janelle Brevard. She filed a lawsuit against NAR and named Kenny Parcell several times in a filing. Kenny Parcell has adamantly denied these allegations. Nevertheless, he resigned 2 days after the New York Times published its article. It should be noted that Janelle Brevard filed a motion to dismiss with prejudice, meaning she can't refile this claim in court. In the wake of this national story, NAR vowed to do better. NAR CEO Bob Goldberg apologized to his employees. "We are committed to taking real action towards rebuilding trust with staff and addressing the concerns we heard," he wrote in a staff memo. Unfortunately, this scandal didn't sit well with the organizations affiliated with NAR. 2. Major real estate brands quit NAR.
The New York Times reports these major real estate brokerages have announced they no longer want to be associated with NAR.
Redfin severed ties with NAR on October 2nd, 2023. Redfin's CEO, Glenn Kelman, revealed that the company was already uncomfortable with NAR's stance on commissions.
Why am I defending this particular position? For us, that got really uncomfortable. That, coupled with some of the sexual harassment allegations, which were really hard to understand at the scale that they were at, just made it not just a logical decision, but sort of an emotional decision. 60-70% of our workforce is female.
The shocking sexual harassment claims only strengthened their resolve to leave. And guess what? Anywhere and Remax soon followed suit. Why? Because of 2 bombshell class action commission lawsuits. Anywhere and Remax are big. Anywhere has around 197,000 sales agents, and it's earned an annual revenue of $5.64 billion in 2023. Remax has 140,000 and has earned $325 million. Both were named as defendants in the Moel vs. NAR and Sitzer Burnett vs. NAR. They settled out of court in September. Anywhere revealed a crucial aspect of their settlement. Agents no longer needed to be card-carrying members of NAR. Remax made a similar public announcement shortly after. The writing on the wall was clear to them. NAR would not see the end of these lawsuits anytime soon. 3. A tsunami of antitrust commission lawsuits. The $1.8 billion Sitzer Burnett verdict in 2023 cost NAR more than just money. It called attention to all cases filed against NAR since 2019. Currently, more than 20 lawsuits question NAR's irrefutable influence on the industry. They accuse the trade organization of trying to monopolize real estate. 2 policies are in the spotlight: participation or cooperative commission rule. Listing agents must declare buyer agent commission when listing on NAR-affiliated MLSs. Clear cooperation policy. Listing agents must submit a property to the MLS within a day of marketing it. Plaintiffs state that these rules have stabilized commission rates and suppressed competition. The most significant lawsuits calling NAR's policies into questions are Morel versus NAR. On March 6, 2019, Christopher Morel from Minneapolis sued the National Association of Realtors. On March 29, 2023, Morel versus NAR became a class action lawsuit. The estimated damages in the case are around $13.7 billion. Given that this is an antitrust lawsuit, the damages could be tripled to a staggering $41.1 billion. The case is expected to reach the court in late 2024. The Sitzer Burnett case. Michael Ketchmark filed the case on April 29, 2019 in the Western District Court of Missouri. The judge, Stephen Bowe, granted it class action status in April 2022 and it went to trial in October 2023. An 8-person jury dropped a verdict on October 31st that sent shockwaves through the industry. It asked defendants NAR, Keller Williams, and Home Services of America to pay $1.8 billion in damages. Trebled, this could be $5.4 billion. The final ruling on the injunction is expected in May 2024, but the damage is already done. what followed was a flood of commission lawsuits. The Gibson versus NAR. Michael Ketchmark filed this mother of all lawsuits a mere 30 minutes after the Sitzer-Burnett verdict on October 31st, 2023. On December 27th, NAR's attorney filed a motion to request a temporary stay in the Gibson case, and it's no surprise that they did. This lawsuit is predicted to cost a whopping $200 billion in damages. If trebled under the antitrust laws, it could be $600 billion. That's a lot for an organisation earning just above $700 million a year. The court date hasn't been set yet, but it's likely to go to trial in 2025. If you want to know more about these lawsuits, watch our videos by clicking on the links in the description. The consolidation. 20 class action antitrust lawsuits are a lot, and the plaintiffs in 10 of these lawsuits think so too. They have proposed consolidating the lawsuits under Stephen Bowe and the Western District Court of Missouri.
Breaking news. Judicial panel on multi-district litigation denies plaintiffs' request to consolidate commission lawsuits on April 12, 2024. Read more in the description below.
But these lawsuits are not the only ones pointing fingers at NAR. The Department of Justice has entered this battlefield as well. Four, the DOJ versus NAR. The DOJ originally opened an investigation into NAR in 2019. In November 2020, NAR settled with the Trump-era DOJ, William Barr, under the condition that the case could not be reopened. But the administration changed in 2021 and the DOJ's stance changed with it. The department, under Attorney General Merrick Garland, filed to withdraw the settlement and reopen the investigation. Acting Assistant Attorney General Richard Powers of the DOJ's Antitrust Division said, "The proposed settlement will not sufficiently protect the Antitrust Division's ability to pursue future claims against NAR." Judge Timothy Kelly of the United States District Court for the District of Columbia rejected this motion. But the DOJ didn't back down and appealed. On December 1st, 2023, the US Court of Appeals in Washington, D.C. heard oral arguments for and against this motion.
Breaking news. On April 5th, 2024, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia ruled that the DOJ can reopen its investigation into NAR's policies. Read more in the description below.
In February 2024, the DOJ objected to the Nozelek versus MLS PIN settlement. It has called for decoupling commissions and giving buyers more negotiating power. NAR disagrees.
No! God, please, no! No! No!
Spokesperson Mantil Williams said that barring sellers from offering commissions will only limit their options. NAR believes the change will also place fair housing out of the reach of buyers. Conclusion. 2023 wasn't kind to NAR. Its reputation has taken a massive hit, and key people like President Kenny Parcell, CEO Bob Goldberg, and the new president Tracy Casper have left the organization.
The National Association of Realtors, or NAR, agreed to pay $418 million to settle class action lawsuits over broker commissions. The lawsuit.
There have been a few recent developments in NAR's fight against commission lawsuits.
Been a major shakeup in the real estate world today. If a settlement is approved in court, homes may get cheaper, and agents and brokers could be out of business.
In an attempt to stop the wave, NAR has proposed a settlement on Friday, March 15, 2024. NAR has agreed to pay the plaintiffs $418 million in damages spread out over a term of 4 years, no longer create rules that mandate listing agents to set compensation for buyer brokers. This allows for more negotiation flexibility. Create a new rule to ensure compensation offers aren't displayed on the MLS listings. This aims to prevent any potential bias based on commission rates. The settlement awaits court approval, and the Department of Justice might still intervene. This could potentially change how buyers and sellers pay commission and reduce the existing 5 to 6% standardized commission rates. Without question, this settlement will have a massive impact on America's real estate. It has had a big impact on NAR's reputation too. Around 27% of agents are willing to move to the NAR competitor Area, a trade organization launched by Mauricio Umansky and Jason Harbour. Some experts say NAR's membership numbers may drop by around 1 million. What do you think? Do you think NAR's influence will weaken, or will it continue to be the dominant force it is today? Let us know in the comments below.